Congratulations. You have two music videos that dances with films. Uh, how do you feel about having being shown on such an iconic place like the TCL Chinese Theater?
Yeah, I mean, it's super exciting opportunity. We definitely, when we went to make these projects, weren't thinking at all about what it would look like in a movie theater, let alone, like the Chinese theater or something. So yeah, totally a super, super cool, unexpected opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you go about starting a music video? Because people think it's so easy to shoot a music video. People just go out there with cameras and start. What's the process for you like? What do you do? How much collaboration is it with the artist? How much is it your creative vision? What is
Mhm.
that process like?
Yeah, I think it definitely depends a little bit on the specific, project that you're working on. But in general, I think with any sort of, branded project, which is what a video is, it's really important to sit down with the client or the artist in this case and really like see what they're really excited about, see where they're coming from. And I really like to get a sense, and that was useful for these two projects, like where they wanted to like be in, X amount of time and like what their, yeah, what their aspirations are and who their influences are. So hopefully all of that could get taken into account for the final concept.
For you, which one was more difficult to tackle? Was YGB or was it the
Right.
Batman video?
Yeah, the Batman one was definitely trickier because uh, yeah, it was just like a much more involved execution. The YGB Rappin All Fast one was we ended up shooting that in like 2 half days before COVID, and then the Batman one we actually were gonna shoot that just before COVID, but then everything shut down, so we had to like postpone for a little while, and then um, it came to this point where it's like, well, I could try to like we could pretty much just try to do it like ourselves, like the band and me, and like just uh, in kind of our own quarantines because they were all quarantining together, and it's like let's see, what we can make with like the with what all our prep that we did. So yeah, that one definitely a little bit more involved, and I had to wear like a lot of hats that yeah, so it was just kind of a lot from that standpoint, but I'm really happy with how they both turned out. So no
Um,
complaints.
they're both quite unique. So how do you establish your style as a director when you have such different projects?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if my goal when I was working on these or in general is to like establish a style, if that makes sense. I feel like my job is to just make the right thing for that specific artist and that specific project, and um, yeah, not being bound by something that might have worked on another project because that might not be motivated for the next one. But yeah, I think if there was like one thing that my brand would be or my style would be is just like having a really kind of simple, digestible core concept that the rest of the video can kind of like hang on, if that makes sense.
Yeah. For YGB, that 360 world look is fascinating. How did that come about?
Yeah, so when I sat down to talk with those guys, the delivery boys, that was the first video I did for them. They it was interesting to hear from them, like their background being from Brooklyn and being, a rap, hip hop group from Brooklyn. There's 5 members, and even though they're musically like pretty unique from like the Beastie Boys, I thought it was really interesting to kind of use that as a jumping off point, is to kind of look at the sort of style that Spike Jones used in a lot of the early Beastie Boy videos where you're using wide angle lenses and you know outfits and moving fast. And I thought that was kind of an interesting sort of jumping off point stylistically. It's like what would it mean to, as they're, musically sort of a new age take on the Brooklyn boy band, what would it mean to support that idea visually? So looking at some of those, and the 360 camera is in a way like a sort of, I think, an interesting, like jumping, like um, sort of continuation of maybe the wide angle lens sort of stuff that they were doing in the 90s with the Beastie Boys. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then yeah, I did a lot of prototyping to see what would feel cool. And yeah.
For you, how often do you watch music videos? How do you get inspiration for creating a new project for somebody who wants to be more unique?
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I just want to make sure I understand the question. You're asking how, like, when you start a project, how do you make sure that you're going to get something unique?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's all kind of in the context. Like, I think it's like because the artists themselves, the human beings that are, making the music, they're, one of one, and, they have their own specific influences and that no one else in the history of the world has. So if you like, I found that if you got like lean into that, lean into who they are and who they want to be, and lean into the specificity of the song, that you can get something that should be unique because they're unique, and it does so in a way that I think is motivated and isn't kind of like tacked on. So
Awesome. Well, congratulations on this. They are amazing projects, and I hope you have fun watching them on the big screen.
yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.